All right, we are going to graph a rational function, and this time we're going to graph it using transformations. Okay, so we actually have already done a problem like this probably earlier in the transformation section, but we're going to do it again here. So f of x equals 1 plus 7 squared, 1 divided by 1 plus 7 squared. So we want to talk about transformations here. This plus 7, that belongs to the x. Belongs to the x, it's on the inside of the parentheses. And, well, it's a plus 7. And if it belongs to the x, it's going to be horizontal. And it's going to do the opposite. It's going to do the opposite. So instead of adding 7, instead of going to the right 7, this thing is going to go to the left 7. Okay. Now, clearly, we can't tell anything from these graphs. So we're going to jump over to MyMathLab, and they have them super, super, super small. So normally our asymptotes would be at x equals 0 and y equals 0. But now we're going to move to the left 7. And look, that's probably moved to the left 7, but let's double check the other graphs. This one's definitely moved down. Well, it's not down. This one's moved up. C is moved up. D is moved to the right. So A is going to be our correct answer. There we go. And now what is the domain of the function? Well, x is never going to be equal to negative 7 because they have an asymptote. We can go back, look at the graph, and see where the vertical asymptote is at. The vertical asymptote is at x equals negative 7. Also, if you go back up to the function and you plug in negative 7, you get negative 7 plus 7 is 0. 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So the domain of the function is going to be x not equal to negative 7. There we go. And now, what is the range of the function? So you can get domain and range from the graph. How high does this, or how low does this thing go? The lowest it ever goes is 0. And because 0 is an asymptote, it's never going to touch 0. And then it goes all the way up to infinity. So this is going to be y is greater than 0. Excellent. Now, what are the vertical asymptotes? There's only one vertical asymptote, and that vertical asymptote is at x equals negative 7. It's the same thing as the domain, except the domain is x is not equal to negative 7. Oh, and we got to be very careful. We have to be very, very careful. It says type as an equation, which means we need to write x equals negative 7. Okay. MyMathLab can be very deceptive, but if you always read, it'll be very, very helpful. I was about to get this wrong and I wouldn't know why. Go back, read, type as an equation. It has to say x equals negative 7. There we go. And then the horizontal asymptote, well, there's only one horizontal asymptote, and that was y equals 0. Y equals 0. You have to type as an equation, which is not what we did on the previous problem, but it is the one we did here. So let's check. Excellent. Now, there is no oblique asymptote. We can go back and look. Oblique asymptote it's a slanted asymptote. It'll go from left to right or this way, right? So it's not slanted. There's only vertical. There's only horizontal. There is no oblique. All right, excellent. Another one down.